you got to take your phone back to your car. Those are the rules.
Those are the rules?
Yep.
What state law is behind that?
It's the judge's rules.
The judge's rules?
Yes, sir.
So the judge
I'm not going to hear to argue with
So the judge controls everything here?
in this building, yes,
including,
he does.
okay, that's his
building, yes, sir.
his jurisdiction ends at the doors of his court. What's up, everybody? Great Lakes back with the phone that doesn't suck. And we're gonna go to Oregon Police. I gotta get a copy of a police report. So far, Oregon Police has been pretty good to me on the streets. The chief has been pretty respectful. So let's see how this goes in here. So what we got here is, this is the Oregon Police Department. It's attached to the municipal building. It's got the city offices, the courthouse, the prosecution and all that. Then the police department's off on the far right edge. Their records clerk was out on medical, had surgery, and was away for a while. So they had this notice up. Now this notice says fill out the paperwork, maybe, you fill out this paper, drop it off, they'll take care of it. But, me being me, I like to make the phone calls, I like to ask, talk to the people, send an email kind of thing. To Oregon's credit, I talked to Chief Brandon Began. I've also talked to their deputy chief, their record sergeant. These guys are fantastic. If you need a records request and their office isn't open, you can call dispatch, ask for an officer. The officer will show up to where you are at, take your public records request and submit it for you to the department. Fantastic service. I have tested it. They have done wonderful. Oregon PD has got their stuff on point. Thank you, Chief Began. Let's see what all this is. All right, so no contraband. Now, see how it says cell phones? That's an interesting one. It says no phones permitted for court and probation. That's fine. Items prohibited in the building: any firearm, deadly weapon, other instrument adapted as a weapon, switchblade, knife, straight razor, drug, paraphernalia, incendiary device, noisemaker, sound amplifier, any cell phone. All right, go ahead. Now you notice how this has statutes attached, but this does not. All right, let's go in.
Yes, sir. Where are you heading?
Probation, or not probation. I read that in a second of my head. Prosecutor's office.
Prosecutor's office.
Yes.
Okay, for what?
Discuss a matter I have with her.
Okay. You're going to have to take your phone back to your vehicle.
Is there a policy for that? Is there a rule for that? Sign says no phones permitted, but I'm allowed to have my property. I'm also allowed to record in here unless there's a judge's order.
What now?
Unless there's a judge's order, I'm allowed to record in here.
There's a judge's order.
Okay, can I get a copy of the judge's order?
No.
No?
No.
Why not?
Because I just told you.
Okay, I'm making a public records request.
The judge ain't here.
That's okay, I don't need the judge to tell me.
So you got to take your phone back to your car. Those are the rules.
Those are the rules?
Yep.
What state law is behind that?
It's the judge's rules.
The judge's rules?
Yes, sir.
So the judge
I'm not going to hear to argue with
So the judge controls everything here?
in this building, yes,
including,
he does.
okay, that's his
In this building, yes, sir.
his jurisdiction ends at the doors of his court.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you know that, right?
What's that?
His jurisdiction ends at the doors of the court. Like, he can't control the prosecutor's office, the probation department.
I'm not
He
here.
can't make those rules. I know it's above you. It's not it's above your pay grade. I understand that. So I need to make a request for that information for that judge's order. Where do I do that?
Okay, you go put your phone away and you can go see the, you can go up to the clerks and you can get the order. Okay?
So you're gonna deny me entry?
Yes.
And your name, please?
Joe Ibarra,
Ibarra?
Yep.
All right. With the security here or with the police department?
court security.
Court security. All right. And who's your supervisor?
The judge.
The judge? Fantastic. All right. I'll address this with them.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
You too. Okay, so I do go back to my car. I drop off my stuff. I go back in and make a public records request. Make contact with the supervisor who says he's going to look into things for me. Go to the city offices. They're like, you're good to go. Don't worry about it. You can be in here. I have a good talk with the city manager and the secretary. They're all fantastic. So now here we go with the revisit. Sorry, my video had cut out. It was corrupted. So the first part of this when I walked in wasn't recorded. But this guy was just cool. He's like, all right, yeah, go ahead and come on in. He called his supervisor, and I heard he was calling for him. So I just sat and waited. And now you guys get to meet Trent.
How are you doing?
Good, sir. How are you?
Not too bad. Aaron.
Aaron?
Yes.
Trent.
Trent. Nice to meet you, Trent.
You too, buddy.
I have a question about if your officers have been trained about what your guys' policy on cell phones in the building are. 2 Fridays ago, Mr. Ibarra wouldn't let me bring my phone in the building.
On a Friday?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
I understand that the courts have their own rules.
Yeah.
But he told me that the judge's order controls his whole building. We both know that his jurisdiction really.
It's that doorway.
Right, the judge's jurisdiction ends at his courtroom doors, but I'll deal with that courthouse issue later. That's not a big deal right now. But he wouldn't even let me in last 2 Fridays ago.
I think I sent you some requests.
Yes, yeah, you sent me. Yeah, that was okay. Yeah, I've got it in my pocket just in case.
Based on your visit, I actually rehashed that whole policy with these guys.
That's why I do this.
That's why you're here.
Yeah.
That's why not that they don't know it, but I'm like, listen, guys, this is what we do. This is what. Now, here's the thing with court days, it becomes sort of a convoluted mess because,
Right.
and I use that term loosely. You have the city building, you have the court building.
Right.
A lot of people, so that door actually is closed. There's a court docket. Because then you have the prosecutor who works in the area of the court.
Right.
Yet she works to the city side.
Right.
So when people bring in their phones, sometimes it's hard to differentiate. Where are you going? What are you doing?
Right.
Because here's what happened there. Sometimes, and I'm not kidding, before we had just one entry and exit, people were coming in through that door.
Oh yeah.
And avoiding.
And skirting around all the exactly.
And it's not phones I'm worried about. You know what I'm worried
Right,
about more
exactly.
than anything. So,
Right.
Yeah, so your visit actually prompted me to say, hey, listen, not only this is a good time to get what you need, this is a good time to re-educate my guys.
That's why I do this. I mean, I do this all over the country.
Cool.
I do it here from locally,
Good.
but all over the country. I've had the Lucas County Sheriff's Department's been retrained. Their deputies at the court TMC's been retrained. Wauwatosa Police Department has been updated on their public records request. California Department of Transportation's been educated. Houston, right now we're working on buddy mines and handcuffs right now at Houston City Hall.
Okay.
So we have a team of people working on that. So we're a good large organization of just like-minded people that it's just here to educate.
And that's just it. I think too many people, I use people, they take too many things personally.
Right.
Don't get so defensive. Use an open mind, and because I've been in law enforcement for 31 years.
Oh wow.
So not everything's an attack.
Right.
If I try to give you some advice, you say, "Don't tell me I know what I'm doing." Well, okay.
You ain't my boss, right?
But I don't always hold that persona. I try to listen to what you want. Okay, why is he? There's a reason you're doing this.
Absolutely, correct.
And until I have dialogue with you, I don't know what that reason is.
And if we can foster good communication like this, what's it do? It makes you look good. I mean, you're absolutely fantastic right now. I mean, not just dressed, but I like that. But
I appreciate
you look fantastic. You sent me the information within what, an hour? I think roughly.
It was pretty quick. And
Yeah.
I just you asked, I give. There's nothing there you shouldn't have. There's nothing I need to hide.
That's why Oregon, I tell you what, I've been in this part of the country for 26 years now. I had a lot of bad experiences in Oregon.
Mm-hmm.
Once Chief Began took over, there's some changes here in the court.
Mm-hmm.
Judge Petroff was awesome. I love Judge Petroff. Nice guy. He treated everyone in the court the same way. I haven't dealt with whoever's in here now because I've been not so young and dumb anymore. So
Right. You learn too by just doing it.
Exactly. So it's just about educating people, and your staff was possibly retrained. And I heard you made the phone call like, hey, there's a guy with the camera or with this phone, and you're like, yeah, okay. That's what I'm assuming the phone call went. Was like, yeah, he's good.
Yeah. Let him do what he was doing. Didn't hurt anybody.
Yeah.
And I encourage my guys to call me.
Yeah.
As a command officer. Well, in essence, that's what I am.
Right.
If you have an issue, call me. You have a manual, but if you want me to come out and help, I'll help. And he came out, can you come out and talk to this gentleman? I said, absolutely.
Yeah.
Because maybe there's something you want me to do differently, or it's something to make things more fluid.
Right.
So,
Yeah. My only suggestion would be to move the security setup right there, and that would immediately no cameras allowed past this point, if that was possible. But if you do that, you're gonna be interfering with the line at the clerk's office in there. So it's like,
it's funny you mention that, and we used to, as you know, before COVID, we had 2 entries.
Yeah.
And as I just mentioned earlier, COVID, if that anything good came of COVID, is we centralized the one exit, one entry.
Yeah.
The problem is on council nights, this is not active participant.
Right.
So people come in and out straight through. So
Right.
And moving that thing is, it starts moving all the way through.
Right.
And I hope you're never here on court days, but it's packed sometimes.
Oh, I've been there for a few. Yeah. Not for myself, not in like over 20 years,
Yeah.
but I've a few times,
Yeah, yeah. So-
young, dumb, and stupid. So.
Well, dude, we're all been there.
Right.
But hopefully I answered your question.
Oh, absolutely. I
Joe's
just
been educated, refreshed, and so has my other guys. I've sent out emails, and I've sent out the policy that you got, they have, and then I verbally went over it with them, said, listen. And so we went over things. It's just what you and I just covered.
can I get a copy of the email? Could you send me it?
I'll try to find it, either that or it's the email I sent you. But if I have it, it's in our office, but let me see what I have for you.
Okay.
Maybe it was the email I sent you, but I know I covered it with them because
Okay.
there's a copy of that up there.
Oh, nice.
I actually made a printed copy. It's here.
Fantastic.
Keep this here. So, and something just came from the other courts regarding this. Because of the new ORC coming out for concealed carry,
Yeah.
the courts, there's questions, people, we're concerned that people are saying, I can carry a gun in OR1 because I don't need a concealed carry permit.
That's where the lack of the class comes in because, I can carry wherever. No, you can't.
Yes.
You can't drink when you're doing it. You can't be in only certain types of bars, and you can't be in
So
courthouses.
now they're
or
taking away
Yeah.
that class.
Yeah.
So we're concerned, and so, but this is already up here because some courts are saying you need to post this. Well, I already have it posted,
Right.
and I'm not patting myself in the back, but that's a whole different.
proactive work stops any possible problems
Yeah.
that could come from it. So
Right.
that's how it should be. It's proactive policing, proactive. Like you're going to prevent any issue from happening because it's already posted. It's what it is. It is what it is. It's done. Have a good day, sir.
Here's
So
the thing: when you approached me today, you weren't belligerent, you weren't aggressive, and I don't know if it's years of experience that I don't. Of your question, how dare you question me?
Right.
No, please question me because
it's
how do
more.
I get better?
I don't think it's experience. I think it's just demeanor. Like
Okay.
you're just naturally a kind. I could tell you're naturally kind. Your eyes. You're not being dismissive, crossing your arms. Your body language says you're open to conversation.
Absolutely.
So your
Like
eyes.
You said, though, see, we have a very good mutual understanding. Dialogue is the key.
Absolutely.
If you have dialogue and you can reach some sort of, if you can negotiate that dialogue to a point where you all agree.
Absolutely.
Look where we're at.
Absolutely. Yep. I had I spent 4 days and 3 nights in Lucas County just at the end of April for merely recording on a sidewalk a government official who I've been doing a research story on for months. And there were phone calls made, some lies were involved, and I was okay with taking the ride. I'm okay with taking the ride. But the officer didn't want to listen and have a conversation is 2 ways. It's you talking and me talking, but both of us listening. He's like, you want to tell me what you're doing out here? Yeah. Well, this one, well. Like 3 seconds into it, and he's cutting me off. Just like he did the last time I spoke with him. 10 minutes of conversation was him just talking over me the whole time. I'll let him talk. I'll let him spew his ignorance because he would rather let the courts work things out than do his job and investigate properly. And that's what we're doing this too,
That can be counterproductive.
Yeah, absolutely. And it makes him look like an idiot. So now he's in 3 of my videos. Instead of just being one, like an awesome one, you're right. Let me go watch that video where this guy come out and harassed him and bowed up on him in a threatening manner versus, well, he said this. So it's just, communication. Listening is the most important part of communication. If you can't see someone because you're on the phone, listen to them. Don't cut them off.
Tell you what, I'll give you my card.
Oh, please do. Want one of mine?
If you don't mind.
Yeah.
And then we maintain that communication by just having contact.
Absolutely. Chief Began and I talk probably like every couple of weeks. Because every couple of weeks is like, you know what? Here you go. Here's another one. Here's another good officer. I try to spread the word. And there's mine.
There you go.
Thank you, sir.
Very much. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. I can try to fulfill everything that I can fulfill without getting myself in a bind.
Right.
Like I said, I'll be honest with you. Just like this email requested, let me make sure I may be misspeaking. Maybe I'm thinking of your email, but I know I have a hard copy out here, and I know I addressed it with all the guys. This is what these cameras and phones aren't going to hurt you. I don't want them in the courtroom. I get that. If they're defendants and they're coming with a phone and it's ringing and they got some guys have 4 phones.
Exactly.
That has to stop.
Right.
We used to keep them in bags and check them, but then we get wrongful accused of being accused of tamper with their phone. Well, you messed with my phone, so we don't even touch them anymore. And COVID also spearheaded that as well.
Common Police Court downtown, they still do. Put
they?
a magnetically locked bag. That's an unreasonable seizure. In my opinion, that's a Fourth Amendment violation. Attorneys and other court representatives can do that, can have theirs in there. Why not me? I'm representing myself pro se in this matter, but my phone has to be locked up.
And it's funny you mention that, because if you are pro se and you have any evidentiary issues on that phone or something you want to bring in, I don't prevent you from bringing it in, because pro se is the same as having
It'd be an attorney, exactly. So,
but just coming in for other reasons, and you're not pro se,
right?
And you want your phones or your 4 phones, you can't.
Different story.
You know.
I'm gonna petition the judge here one of these days to just sit in court with my camera up in the corner. I'll fill out the proper paperwork, identify myself, the whole 9 yards. What a lot of people don't get to see is my press pass. I actually gave this to a judge in court.
Is it legit?
Well, there's no such thing as a press pass being required. Right? But this is my information. This is my organization. I got to get a new one out because I started a website news organization. That's the press pass itself.
Okay, is that what you call it? You're a good citizen?
Good citizen. They call it Good Citizen. I go by Good Citizen, but Great Lakes Audits is my YouTube channel.
Okay, that's where I'm getting so confused.
Yeah.
Cool. That's pretty
neat. There's nothing required to have a press pass. Now, Toledo Police Department does have, City of Toledo, I should say, does have a credentialing that they do through them for crime scenes and other things. They do a press conference inside.
Okay.
They want to do that to kind of, keep, I guess, independence out of it.
Well, and you have to control that whole crowd at some point.
Right, but it makes you follow their rules. And the Constitution says if it's an open forum, I can be there, record freely. And that's what I go by.
Yeah.
So, there's case law. I can start spouting case law to you, but we don't need to go that route. But there's case law that supports it. The most important one is Smith v. Cummings. All right, I was in Cummings, Georgia. And that said that you have the right to record the police, but also in their findings, they also said it's important for us to be able to record public officials in the course of their duties, not just police, but other public officials. So that's like the primary one. And then all the rest kind of fall. The dominoes fall after that, Yeah. There's like Fordyce v. Arkansas, I think it is. There's a whole bunch of them. But, that was the one that set the domino. Someone poked their head out and they went back in. So, and that's what we try to educate people on, not just, government employees, but, people in public. Because a lot of times I'll be recording and someone's like, leave that alone. Like, dude, I haven't said a word to these guys. I seriously, if I'm on a crime scene or whatever, I don't say a word.
Whoever escalates is usually the ones who draw the attention.
Exactly. If you want to yell at me, then you're going to be the subject of my video now. It's going to change because I have to defend myself with an independent record.
You have now changes.
Yeah.
Where it's headed.
Oh yeah. And when I get touched, bad words come out. So
I just know it's going to touch you.
Right. I agree.
Let's do a handshake.
Right.
Are you good for now?
I am, sir. Thank you. Your day's over, right? I appreciate you.
No. If you need to stay longer, we can stay longer.
Oh no, you're good. I got a buddy in handcuffs right now. We got to get him out of jail. So, he's in Houston. I just got an email, a text about it. Like, I was supposed to go live at 3:30, but he had problems with the Houston police officers. So, they're playing music because he's live streaming. So now it ruins his video. That right there is called prior restraint. You're intentionally blocking a protected activity. That's right there. It's with purpose, right? Yeah. And then he's going to get in the elevator and blocks the door at the elevator, and you just hear the chime, the nudging alarm going off. Ding, ding. It's wanting to go, and then more cops come up, and he's like, quit pushing on me. Oh, you ran into yourself. They won't let him push the buttons on the elevator, and next thing you know, his live goes out. So, unnecessary.
I can't comment on that.
Right. I wouldn't want you to, but
I wish you were all like this, don't you?
I do too. If we can, can you imagine what would happen if every law enforcement agent that we spoke with had a conversation like this? You wouldn't have cops getting shot in their cars or at a bakery or at a cafe. You would have the disconnect between law enforcement and the people would be gone, and we would be back to community policing and community interaction.
It's not gone. There's room to fix it.
Right, exactly.
You're not going to fix anything if you don't talk it out.
Exactly. You got to work together, man.
All right, buddy.
I appreciate you. Thank you for your time.
Nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you. Have a great day.
You too.
That is a good public servant and a wonderful conversation that I wish we could all have with all of them. Now let's get good citizen news out of jail. What's going on? All right, guys, take care of yourself and each other. I'm gonna get my boy.
All right. So here is that email, the screening procedures. This is the one that he sent me. I had a copy of this in my pocket just in case they had any questions about it. But I don't know if you could see in the beginning of the video, see the guy in the blue shirt with like papers in his hand? He actually pulls this out, reads over it, then contacts his supervisor. Fantastic job done. All right. On another note, Good Citizen News was released from jail. That case was actually dropped. This is from June. I'll show you when this is from. Here, give me one moment. Okay, so here's the email
The second email where I asked him about what training they received, and it was actually he did it through text. He didn't send them an email; he sent them all a text message, which is just fine too. It's communication, right? But it clicked. It dawned on him because he texted me or he emailed me. He's like, I'm trying to find it. Then it clicked. At 9 o'clock at night, he sends me this because it clicked. I remember where it was at now, and he got it to me. So I really appreciate it, Trent. But let's look at this. He just says, "Sorry, I was in court all day. Um, Contact me if you need." This is just, and here he says again, he even says it. "Thank you for the time and professional rapport we were able to develop." And that's what we need in this community is people that we can find like this to really try to bridge that gap. So here is the memo that he sent out via email or text message on 5/22. It says, "Gentlemen, if anyone that's not an attorney or first responder comes in the building on a court day for court, and have a phone, their phone is not permitted. All right. If anyone comes in any day and wants to conduct business on the city side of the building," which when he and I were talking, it would be what was behind me, they'll be permitted to have their phone. This means you'll have to ask where they're going and determine if they need to put the phone away, if they can keep their phone. On non-court days, and someone wants to just make a payment to the court, which would be to our left, or to my left while I was talking to them, or to talk to a clerk, use your discretion and allow them to keep their phone. If someone tells you they're headed for the city side and then comes back to the court with their phone, let it go and then advise him and he'll take care of it. As for other recording devices are concerned, they're permitted to enter and then advise him again that they're there. If an individual wants to make a recording of the hallway or lobby area, let them. The main emphasis of all this is to keep these devices out of the courtroom, not the rest of the building, like Deputy Ibarra or Bailiff Ibarra had said. But part of the retraining was he was notified. And you know what, guys? This says here too, if people go to probation, no phone. If you guys want to tell Trent what a good job he did, please feel free to do so. Here's his phone number, his email address. This is the kind of communication that I beg for. I honestly want these kinds of conversations. I've posted them time and time again. There's a good 30-minute one I had with a police officer in Toledo that I'm not putting up because I don't want him to get in trouble with his boys in blue. They're going to dump on him if it comes out that he's, agreeing with things. But when we have someone like this that's willing to openly come out in the courthouse, like this is how we need to do things. This is what we need to find as people like this. So, Mr. Schroeder, I appreciate your time, your professionalism, your kindness, your openness, and your willingness to talk and just be honest with me. And it seemed to me that you're honest, and I really do appreciate you and your time. All right, guys, that's it for me. Take care of yourself and each other. I'll see you in the next one.